Alright, my name's Tom. Today I'm going to be talking about things and stuff with good friends Pickard and Marc. Pickard is our resident games journo and rum enthusiast, and Marc is the danger. He is the one who knocks. This is Safehouse. Right, first thing we must discuss, because it is the most important thing of all, lots of Batman news. Batman vs Superman, The Dawn of Justice. It has been named, it was announced, it'll be some days ago now, because I think it was technically like today, or it was the other day, I don't know. I read it today. Thursday, yes, it was announced on Thursday, all those days ago. So, yeah, but opinions.
You know what?
Go on.
I just don't care. As long as it's a carbon copy replica of The Dark Knight Returns. That's all I
fair enough.
They can call it Batman in Wonderland, and
I'd watch it. Have Mad Hatter as
Jarvis.
the villain. Yeah, that'd be
Jarvis
excellent. Yeah, but no, I mean, I was a little bit surprised that I actually went with Batman v Superman as a title, because I always thought it was going to be Man of Steel, something.
Part 2.
Yeah, it was going to be like Man of Steel, also Batman. But then they went with like an actual Batman v Superman. It's like, well, does that mean they will actually do battle? Which is hype.
There was the quote, wasn't there? That
yeah, they did
Snyder read out
the big
that
hype.
sent everyone batshit crazy.
I was hype about
which
that.
I just read about a month ago.
It's good. Yeah,
It's
it's
a
a fantastic graphic novel.
All-time favourite.
It is, yeah. It's
Definitely.
genuinely agreed that if you haven't read Dark Knight Returns, not Dark Knight Rises, avoid Dark Knight Rises.
Hey,
I
will fight you.
I know, you fight me in front of the camera.
I will.
Yeah, if you haven't read Dark Knight Returns, do so, because shit the bed, what a comic.
It's
Yeah.
I mean, you got to take it as a piece of its time. It's hardly PC. Which is part of the point of the book, I feel.
Yeah,
but
that's the point.
Point is, I mean, going back to Batman vs Superman title to it, I think it seems more and more clear that DC are trying to emulate Marvel.
They're doing an Avengers,
than making it into a Superman franchise. It is ultimately building up to the Justice League.
Because it's Dawn of Justice, so... And obviously they're bringing in Wonder Woman in this with Gal Gadot, so...
I see what they did.
They're going to go, okay, cool, and then go into a Justice League film. Which, if they can pull it off, I am all for it.
It's about time DC kind of caught up with Marvel.
Because
Marvel have been on it really, really
like
well.
they've been nailing it since Iron Man 1. You know, they were just like getting it done. They had that vision, apart from the minor Hulk hiccup with bloody Ed Norton. Even I really like the Ed Norton
Even
one.
that though, I think they have kept it semi-canon.
Yeah, it's definitely canon, but it's just a different actor. Yeah, it's the same as Iron Man changing Rhodey. But I mean, I would love to see a proper Justice League, because it leaves. I mean, I assume they're going to do the standard layout. So Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern,
Aquaman.
Aquaman.
I've heard rumours of Aquaman.
Always Aquaman.
Jason
Mraz.
Jason Mraz as Aquaman.
I think he was
good.
I might be totally wrong here.
Go.
I think he was the guy out of Game of Thrones.
Oh, Jason Momoa.
Yes, I've heard.
Jason Momoa as Aquaman.
Bear in mind,
What
this
the
is
shit.
like episode 7 pinch of salt-esque rumours.
Yeah,
kind of
fair
thing,
enough,
but
fair
I
enough.
vaguely remember reading something about that on IO9. I might be completely wrong there.
I would be all for that, because I'm a fan of Jason Momoa and I'm a fan of Aquaman. I like Aquaman. Aquaman's actually, since the New 52 reboot, Aquaman's the only thing that isn't shit. Because New 52 ruined the DC universe apart from Aquaman, which it made really good.
I'm still bitter they put Damian and Bruce Wayne back together.
Yeah. No, it's
Grayson.
like more Dick Grayson. Always
Don't
more
know
Dick Grayson.
any of this.
No,
They-
this is...
yeah.
This is like Megan with video games.
Yes, yeah, it's like she's going to be sitting at home going, I know that feel, bro. Yeah, right. This is where you're in. You're in your element now. Arkham Knight released gameplay trailer. Gameplay trailer, and it was released and looks really good.
It's pretty good.
He looks so good.
So many feelings.
I know.
The warm and fuzzies.
Yeah, it's especially. I mean, it's like you were saying after the disappointment of Origins.
Yeah.
It looks ready to soar to new heights because, I mean, the Batmobile looks hype.
Oh god, that bit on the trailer where it's on the roof of the
it's
I was just like,
it's like, all right, cool, yeah. So the whole Batmobile is going to be awesome. I really like the redesign of some of the villains, like the sort of more like just metal shit looking villains.
Well, Scarecrow.
Scarecrow looks awesome. Two-Face looks really metal now. Bloody Penguin with his shaved head.
Yeah.
I'm all for
I
that.
didn't see Penguin in the
Oh, he's there with Two-Face. He's got his little bald head going on. He was in one of the earlier trailers.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And the Arkham Knight. Now here's the thing, right? Now, having seen the trailer, at the end, when he's doing his little shtick to Batman on the floor, there's a twinge in his voice that I'm like, no, don't make it be the Joker, because he's got that kind of Joker.
Wouldn't.
I know, it would be
Rocksteady.
Don't.
No.
You know better.
So, strangely enough, I have been keeping up with most of the press.
Kelsa Freeze.
They are going there and saying the Joker is officially out.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
His death is the catalyst.
Yeah.
Sorry, spoilers.
Spoilers for Arkham City. But that game came out, like 3 years ago, so
damn it.
Deal with it.
If you haven't that glory,
I won't play it.
Yeah, I know his stuff is the catalyst, so they have flat out said that it isn't the Joker. Now, obviously, it could be that.
Like JJ Abrams saying it's not Khan. Yeah,
God, yeah.
It could happen.
It's meant to be a completely new character.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they're saying they work with. Were they working with
DC to make a brand new character?
Yeah, that's it.
I'd like him to be completely independent, but this is comic book universe, and let's face it, how many times has Batman, Superman come back to life?
Yes.
Now, so hardly I don't take anything they say.
No, so when they're like, the Joker's dead, and it's like, well, yeah, he's dead, but they can also put him in a Lazarus pit, which they've already introduced to make him go even more crazy, or I don't know, there's any number of bullshit.
Got the Lazarus pit.
The good old Lazarus pit. That's the DC's go-to thing for, someone died, put him in a Lazarus pit. Lazarus pit would be fun. It's cool. They just like hand them out the GP, giving them appointments for Lazarus pits.
Fully booked Lazarus pit.
Yeah.
Origins wasn't a bad game, but my biggest disappointment with it, for some reason, was the combat system. I found it so perfectly tuned with the others, and yet there was something off with Origins.
Was it all the bugs?
Could
it be that you punched a guy and his leg sort of elongated across a rooftop? Because that happens sometimes.
Yes, I know you've experienced that one.
I lost. It was about 7 hours, I think. That's 7 hours of gameplay. I played it on release day, did 7 hours of story, got to the Deadshot boss fight, and then the game crashed, and whenever I loaded, I was standing, I was falling freely through just empty space, and I could see the entire world map of Gotham hanging above me. And you try to reload and you just start falling out in space again, and there was no way to fix it, so I lost 7 hours and I had to do it all again. Yay! Nothing says replay value like forced replays. So
Barbara Gordon is in.
She is,
Arkham
yes,
Knight.
in her little wheelchair. It's exciting. And that sounded like Dick Grayson, or at least one of the Robins on the radio. During that
both
game.
Characters existed in City, Grayson and
Drake. Yeah, Drake. Tim Drake was the one you played as. Yes, and Nightwing. Yeah. And they made Tim Drake way cooler. I have a soft spot for Tim Drake. I think he might be my favourite Robin.
I like Grayson.
I mean, Grayson's awesome.
I can see where it comes
But it's like, Grayson was great until he became Nightwing. I don't like Nightwing as a character. When he then took over as Batman in the comics, that was fantastic. Loved that. But just the character of Nightwing, I don't get on with.
I can see that.
Dick Grayson is the film Robin.
Dick Grayson.
Yes, he's the original,
the first Robin.
the one who's now in NCIS LA. That guy, Chris O'Donnell. He was. So Dick Grayson was the original Robin, and then he grew up and became Nightwing, And then there was Jason Todd, who was a bit off the rails and eventually got beaten to death by this is comic spoilers, but come on.
Yeah, I was going to say,
these are stories from like
under the red hood. And
these are stories from like 80s and 90s. If you don't know about these, then you're not reading enough comics. So Jason Todd got beaten to death by the Joker.
The crowbar.
He's beaten to death with the crowbar. And then he went through a Lazarus pit and came back completely insane and became the Red Hood.
Okay.
Which was hype. And then there was Tim Drake, who was brilliant. And then, of course, there was Damian after that, Damian Wayne.
Damian's got mummy issues.
Yes.
Damian runs off to find Bruce Wayne and says, I want to be like you because you're Batman.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to be like you?
Who wants to be everyone wants to be Batman.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne says, oh shit, I always worried this day would come after hardcore partying. I've got a kid now and I've got to look after him.
Paternal issues.
Raises the kid, but obviously the kid was semi-trained up by the League of Assassins, so the kid kind of is a little bit off the rails.
when it gets into like, all right, we're gonna fight some bad guys, he's like, all right, cool. Like many times he tries to kill the Joker. Batman's like, no, don't kill him, and he's like, why not? Damian is the voice of reason from the perspective of the people reading the comic.
Yeah.
And so it reinforces why Batman doesn't kill people. Because Damian is the one, like the rest of us, saying, why don't you just kill him? Because you'd kill him and that's it. That's it, problem solved. And Damian's going, well, I'll do it. And he's like, no, don't stop that. But it was during that they introduced Professor Pig, who is...
What? Don't. Actually,
I love Professor Pig. Professor Pig is the best...
Is he actually a pig?
No, he's a guy who... He's sort of like Leatherface. He's a guy who has like a pig mask and he creates like Frankenstein people. And
awesome.
He is definitely the best villain to come out of Batman in the past like 40 years, easily.
Yeah. Like a decent run, to be honest.
Yeah, it was that whole.
Because does he appear before?
No,
Bruce dies,
he turns up as Dick Grayson's first main villain. Thought, so. I like Professor Pig. He's an awesome bit. I would love to see Professor Pig in this new game. Arkham Knight with Professor Pig in it. It'd be hype.
Actually, yeah. No,
that'd be... get on it, Rocksteady. Professor Pig in Arkham Knight. See to it. It'd be
Voiced
awesome.
by Professor Green.
Yes. Or just other professors. Professor Brian Cox. Professor X. Yeah. I don't know. I think Brian Cox would be funnier. Like, oh, hello, Batman. Because that's all Brian Cox.
Do you want to look at some stars?
Are you outside? Look up, it's stars. Good. But yeah, so video games, you guys. Now, speaking of video games, a video game that recently came out, I know you're both excited for it. I know very little about it. I know you've been playing it. It's Transistor. What can you tell the good people about the first, hour of Transistor?
Well, okay, so firstly, disclaimer, it is future cyberpunk-esque. Some woman loses her voice and her sword talks to her, constant narration through the game, so...
Awesome.
It's designed for me to love it anyway,
yes.
So I'll admit, I'm slightly biased.
Yeah.
It's done by the makers behind the game Bastion, and it...
It's another game I haven't played. Because I'm a terrible human being.
Why do you hate us?
I'm sorry. I got it in a Humble Bundle and it has never been installed. Much like all other indie games on my Steam library.
Deus Ex.
and Deus Ex, yes.
Again, cyberpunk.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a game that carries the polish that Bastion had.
Good.
So the biggest thing about Bastion, or not the biggest thing, but one of the gimmicks behind it was the game had a narrator which adapted to as you played. So if you did well in the fight, the narrator will turn around and say, oh, the kid truly showed them what they did. Or if you scrape through, it will turn around and say, oh, the kid just was lucky to get away with that. He made a mistake.
That's cool.
And it's employed brilliantly at many points. I mean, I think there's one bit in Bastion where you flick a switch and all you do is you've got the narrator going, and that cage is about to open in 10, 9, 8... And then goes off onto a little tiny tangent, and then the countdown continues on for 8 while you're like, why are you doing this to me? Damn it.
That's sort of very Stanley Parable-esque with its narration.
Yes,
by the sounds
almost
of it.
so. That kind of stuff, and Transistor keeps that going in its own right, but what Transistor does is, whereas Bastion was almost a hack and slash, with RPG-like style.
Alright, cool.
Transistor has just come here and embrace this RPG fully, and it's turned into a quasi turn-based game.
Mm.
RPG system.
cool.
It's just so polished. It's kind of thing I said. It's a 5-hour experience, but it's quality over quantity.
Yeah, which is sometimes the best way.
Very
It's like,
much
I mean, we were discussing not long ago about the Hitman games, and that is prime example. Is we were saying how there's Hitman Absolution, which Hitman Absolution was a thing, and it came out, and that game, I mean, that is a reasonably long game, especially for the replay value. You can go back and you can keep doing different things, and I put a lot of time into it. It's pants. It's not
I
a
don't
great
know
game.
how you managed it.
I know. I was like I was saying, it was like
Ew.
licking the bottom of a stone for sustenance. Like I needed my Hitman fix. But when you pre-ordered it, it shipped with with Hitman Sniper Challenge. Now, Sniper Challenge was a 5-minute quick game, and it was literally just you through the eye of a scope saying, right, kill these guys, like without other people noticing. Bonus points if you can use the force of the bullet to knock them off a building or whatever. And that was it showed
brilliant.
that Sniper Challenge was a 5-minute game that was better than this like 20-hour epic. And it was just the quality of that was what we wanted, was just different ways to dick around and assassinate people, compared to Absolution, which was this story-driven, and you don't want... Hitman doesn't need a story.
Hitman does not get knocked out in a cutscene.
I really hope that the next Hitman is good.
They appear to know that they ballsed it up.
Yeah,
Yes.
they openly admitted it
Yeah, they were
wasn't
like, yes,
optimal.
that was our bad.
Mm.
And hopefully then they will basically just do Blood Money again, because if there's a better game than Blood Money, I don't want to know about it. Now, you two gentlemen are fans of a particular show, and that particular show has recently begun airing again after a while. What can you tell me about 24 Live Another Day?
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's it. No, it's there. We go. We've got.
I knew the fight would come.
There we go. Right, let's have the battle on air. Pro
Actually,
24.
All jokes
Slightly
aside.
less pro 24.
All jokes aside, it's good. I'm enjoying it.
No.
But it is what it is. It's no different from... It doesn't reach the magnificence of seasons 1 and 2.
Will it ever though? I
One
mean, that
day it
is
will.
like going to be a losing... One day,
One day it will.
Yeah.
it's supposed to be over already.
will.
Now they've brought it back.
And it can
Yeah.
come back stronger like a phoenix.
Yeah.
But it's not.
It will.
Because it's the same bloody show,
Yeah.
with the same bloody story beats.
That's why I watched
same
series
characters,
1 and then I
different
stopped
names.
watching it. I stopped watching it after season 1. I was
It's
like, season 1, loved it. Had a great time. I really liked the pacing, you know, the whole 24 episodes.
so good.
I was like, that was very clever. Don't want it again. We've done that. Get rid of it.
It is meandered between awesome and downright awful.
Good.
And now we're kind of at...
Sort of in the
alright,
bilge
yeah,
tank
kind
area.
of pretty
yeah.
bad still.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, when Jack Bauer comes along and shoots people in the crowd and starts a riot,
Yeah.
it's like, this is
it's cool.
this
That's what
is
you want.
24.
Yeah.
When it's, what's her name? Yvonne Strahovski, Kate Morgan.
Hey,
When she's
she's lovely.
She's a
I'm
lovely
I'm not
woman.
arguing against that.
She's
I'm
a
arguing
lovely
against
woman.
her character being, my husband betrayed the government to China. How did you not know that? And everyone brings it up. And it's just like, for God's sake,
Good.
something else has
Good.
got to have happened.
Yeah, I know it's same with me. It's like the whole terrorist storyline and them
Oh, yeah.
discussing the morality of their own actions, kind of stuff.
How many times have you seen that in 24?
Oh, I know, and I mean, granted, spoiler alert, my tolerance for 24 is pretty high because Jack Bauer's the greatest person that has ever existed in this world.
It's like I was staying with with Hitman, licking the bottom of a stone for sustenance.
No,
It could be total garbage and you'll
I'm
still
still
watch
in
it.
full denial here, so
Yeah,
I
okay.
won't even accept that.
Good.
What about the woman who gets from the centre of London to a Yorkshire country house
Is that
in
actually
like 8
Yorkshire?
minutes?
I am almost positive that is not possible. As someone who has spent a lot of their youth in Yorkshire and travelled back and forth, tell you it takes
Even
a
if
lot
it's not
bloody longer than 8
Yorkshire, right?
minutes.
Yeah,
she's in Charing Cross
Right.
in a tube.
Cool.
8 minutes later, she's in the country somewhere in
Yeah.
a huge manor house.
You can't.
I mean,
eight
I
minutes
don't
from
think
Charing
that's
Cross would
possible.
get you to like Tottenham Court Road.
Exactly.
It's like it's all you're hoping for. Really.
And they just said they talk about her being from Yorkshire, and then it's like
Yeah.
welcome home. Caitlin Stark's there to meet her.
Oh, good, because she needs to. She's got
That's
to
a
work
super
now.
terrorist.
Good, yeah, that's fine. Well, good. That'll wrap it up then. I think we'll leave it on that. So, we'll be back next week. It'll be good. Looking forward to it. Like the video, comment if you like, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate all of those things. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook. All of the usual stuff. It's very exciting.
Google Plus.
Google Plus.
Do we have?
I think we have a Google Plus inherently because because YouTube is run by Google. So we have a Google Plus. You can. I don't even know how Google Plus works.
What even is a Google Plus?
It's like Facebook run
to
by
Google.
Yeah. How does one Google Plus?
It's plus one us on Google Plus.
Plus one us on things, and it'll be good. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.